All right, all right, all right. What's going on? How is everybody doing? Appreciate everybody tuning in. I want to get this music level right, so let me know a good level where it's not too loud, but you can still actually hear it. All right, we are tying Baja Rooster fish flies. It continues. I got a big order done for a customer of mine who's going down there for like a month. So he's stocked up. He got a bunch of different rooster fish flies, but we're chipping away. I got a bunch done, but I have to tie. I'm using whatever material I have left, and then I'm gonna have this other person come and grab some flies. So let me get all this set up. Now, as always, I will try my best. I'm using manual focus, otherwise the autofocus isn't very good on this. Let me know if it goes out of focus. Man, I have this, like, I don't know how much. It's just like, unfortunately, this is like so loud from the website. There you go. I want to make sure it's not too loud. Maybe you guys can let me know. Lure Parts Online has 20% off 75 or more right now. Well, you don't say. What do we get from them usually? They have really good marabou, packs of marabou. We'll have to take a look. Maybe we do that right now. Oh, yeah, Lure Parts Online is good, but I remember finding what's the other place? There's like another place that I've... Oh, Jan Craft. Yeah, so Lure Parts Online is the good one. I used to buy from Jan Craft. These are like wholesale. You can still buy from them direct, though. These are like wholesale places. Cheaper stick-on eyes, yeah. They do have 3D eyes as well. For like lures, you could see, right? So the cost, though, you gotta check. Sometimes it's, These I use for... I actually might get these. 10-pack? Well, 10-pack for that. I'll have to take a look. Suedo eyes. I should actually probably grab some. Here we go. The bulk 3D molded eyes. These aren't bad, by the way. They're not the best. What do you get? 100? I mean, this is very similar to saltwaterflies.com prices. Hold on. Let's do a comparison. Because you get 100... Oh, I guess it depends on the size. What about... What's the size I just ordered? 5/16? I will say the quality from Saltwater Fly is generally better. So, yeah. Oh, so it's 1 to 9 packs, though. Is $6.79 for 100? Yeah, you're definitely saving some money. The quality's not as good, but it's something to consider. I actually love reading reviews in general. Oh, Unique Luda. Of course Unique Luda. He's probably using them for lures, which makes sense. Yeah, they're not bad. These are a good option to grab. Anastasio, what's going on? Resin, huh? I just actually picked up some resin, but yeah, it's a good point. Because they have fly tying and they also have lure making. Where's their fly tying? In lure making. Real quick, I want to look at their feathers, actually. I think it was the marabou was really nice. You can get the bulk packs in 1 ounce, but I think you want... Yeah, I think it was just this one. These are pretty good. That's what I'm using right now. It's 1 ounce, 16 bucks. They don't have jungle cock, do they? No. They baited us. Now, there's no way, right? Are these the American Rooster capes? If they have 4 of them, I'm ordering them right now. I don't know if they are. The hen capes. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. I'll pick these up right now if we have to. By the way, these are the good hairline packs. It says hen capes. Yeah, I don't think it's the... So it's not the Rooster capes then. Yeah. I mean, they don't look bad. They're probably much thinner and sparser. All right, yeah. Thank you. I got excited for a second. I was going to say, don't get me started. Nope. Okay, so they don't have solar res. Unfortunately, I don't use Loon anymore because I had a bunch of flies turn yellow. The heads turned yellow, and I reached out to Loon, and they never got back to me. But they did handle my my stuff, so... See, the thing is, like, you're not gonna... You can get some stuff from these places, right? But generally, like, you're not gonna be able to find the good stuff. Let's see. Let's see if they have Slinky Fiber. They have SF blends. I mean, it's virtually the same price as saltwaterflies.com. I'd really rather order it from Chris at Saltwater Flies. Yeah, I mean, you're just paying, like, what, 50 cents more, maybe? But still, it's always good to have options, especially if they run out. Yeah, we'll take a look at the hooks. Slinky Fibers. Dude, I'm just going to order a bunch. Lure Craft 20. Give me that, thank you. I'll just use off-white. Doesn't make a difference. Shrimp I really need. I could mix these two, would be nice. Mixing them. Been fishing. Weekend weather sucks. Yeah, I've been fishing so much. Unfortunately, nothing but. Natural bucktail is interesting, though. Alright. Well, I'm good. They don't have olive. Oh, they do they? No, they don't have olive. They don't have certain colors. The shrimp is what I need, for sure. And the off-white. I'm good on everything else, but I might get some more colors. I think I'm going to tie variations of the muddler for English Marketplace. Striper muddlers, rooster ones. Okay. Well, good. You can get 20% off. So, a sample pint? Oh, pint for the plastic, yeah. I'm good on that. This is what I really need. So, alright. Anyways, we got to get flies done. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for pointing that out, Craggerroll. If anybody wants, go to check out Lure Parts Online. But also go check out saltwaterflies.com. Because that's where we do most of our business. I actually just put an order in. But it's always good to have options, like I said. Especially if one place runs out, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, I'll do that after the stream. Get a fly order done, get some money, and goes right back into materials. God, this plane's like going right over my house from the sound of it. So, tented hackle. We're doing the tail sections on 2-wad, olive, and white. So that's what we're going to be doing. We don't have too many of these left. Then we marabou it up. A little bit of marabou, and then we do the V-ties. The goal is to get as many of these done today, whether on stream or not. But while I was sitting here and just tying, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to fully edit the ostrich hollow. We have the ostrich bucktail hollow with ostrich herl tied all throughout it. Coming out, I think that'll be Wednesday on YouTube. But I have so many of these flies to do, so I'm just banging them out because I was going pretty hard on YouTube and whatnot, which we still will be. But I have the various top water flies is going to be coming out Friday, which I'm working on, and then the ostrich hollow will be Wednesday. I'm just giving myself a couple days to catch up on my commercial tying here, or really put a bunch of effort into it. So it's a good time to stream. Look at you. Isn't that annoying? So we're just doing the tail sections here very quickly. This doesn't matter because it's going to get a very liberal coat of super glue and then get wrapped right on top, just to keep it in place. Oh, I stepped away. I forgot. We got to repoke the hole. I caught a bass Sunday off the surf last weekend. Very nice. Yeah, and somebody that watches my YouTube videos that I met at the Fly Expo recently had they just had fish like around 30 something inches, and he lost one that was around 40 inches on one of our Squimpish hollows that he tied up, but following the video. And then he also had a couple nice fish on the herring hollow. I mean the herring flatwing, which is that video did pretty good. It's up to 2,000 views from a while ago, which is nothing, but you know, for my channel at least. But he was like, dude, your flies from or just, you know, I've been using your videos and we're catching them out here. He's out west, so some people are starting to catch them locally, but there's really, I mean, by now I would have caught so many fish. You know, it's definitely not only a super slow start to the season, but also just I don't know. I think we're seeing the effects of low striper stock in terms of like the past 5 to 10 years, or the past 5 years of like spawning and reproducing. We're getting pretty poor results. So like the amount of just fish you would catch way back in the bay, not necessarily like 30 something inch fish. We're talking about like 18 to 24. We're not seeing a lot of those. So I don't know. We'll see what the deal is. Hopefully it's okay. Maybe they're just late. You know, I'm hoping. But last year was very abysmal in terms of the bay fishing. If you had a boat, you could catch big fish on live bait and stuff all day, or during the surf. The fall was fantastic, but at least for me, and I talked to a lot of people, the bay fishing was like the inshore fishing, which is what a lot of people do with the fly rod because not everyone has a boat. Was not very good. And this year, we haven't even caught a single one yet, so I would like to do some streams, but, you know, I still need to figure that out, and a good 4-hour stream of not catching anything over and over again is not the most exciting thing. So we'll do some fishing at some point on stream, but I'm also every time I go down there, I'm filming with the GoPro. I'm like working on videos. I have a video on like stripping techniques that I want to work on that I've done some filming for with the GoPro on how to like different retrieves and how I approach retrieving flies. Happy to catch bluefish. I'll tell you this, I think bluefish fight more. Oh, I love catching bluefish. People that watch the stream for a while on Twitch, we used to take my kayak out with a Minn Kota motor. And there's a couple of videos on my channel, but we caught bluefish that were well over 18 pounds, probably 20 pounds. But we had a boga grip. We were catching fish that were 14, 13, 15 pounds on the regular, like every day. Most fish were over 10 pounds, but we get this every year. We're going to try and get on it this year, but if I have to, I'm going to take my kayak. I don't care. Correct about the ostrich hollow, it's tied on top, right? Is that what I'm guessing? Yeah. The thing is, when you have a hollow tie, you don't want to mess around with it. Like, the least amount of wraps, the better. I really want to get Max from Predator Prey Flies to come down and give me a lesson on hollow flies. Because I need it. Like, this is the one that we're giving away from the video. Oh, I lost my audio. Mic check, mic check. There we go. And it's not perfect. This side sticks out a little bit more on this side. I definitely got to work on it. I don't know what it is. I think my thread wraps are perfectly even. I mean, and this fly's perfect. Like, in the water, dude, this thing, I mean, we don't got to worry about it, right? But I just really like, you know, as somebody who fly ties for a living, I'd really like to get my hollow ties perfect and where I love them. But I also think it could be something to do with the amount of material when I spread it around. I have to make sure it's evenly spread. But I do got to work on it. Like, this side, I think what it is for some reason there's more tension on the thread, on the bucktail on this side than this side. So this side flares out more. Why that is, I don't know. You can see it's on both ties. In the water, I mean, who cares, right? But like, after you fish these and you wet them, sometimes like it'll flare out a little bit. Hence why I do the super glue always too. But it might be something to do with the thread wrapping or something. But this is just part of the art of mastering the hollow fly, really. That's just part of it. All right, we got to keep going. Rooster fish, rooster fish. Oh, damn, dude, this sucker's getting clogged up. We got a traffic jam of super glue. Let me poke this thing over. This Amazon super glue has been working great. I'm getting good use out of this bottle. I got 2 bottles too. I got the thick one I don't like. The thin one's nice. Usually I like the thick super glue, but you just got to be careful. I actually like it when the bottle gets kind of like gummed up and clogged up from using it a lot, because a lot of times the thinner super glue flows out so strong that it could just like coat the entire tail. So I like it where it's, you'll see I leave the cap off a lot of times while I'm using it. When I'm using it, I'll cover it, but it'll just close itself up a lot of times. And I just use it like that. And they last a long time. The Zap-A-Gap bottle lasts forever, even without a top. I just leave the top off. It's usually when you only get really low on the glue that it dries out. Or if you don't touch it for a while. But I use it so much. I go through so much super glue and head cement and yada, yada, yada. Where can I buy some of your flies? I just want to see how it's tied so I can visually see the differences. So I only have like 12 surf candies that I had Sandia ones on Angler's Marketplace right now. But there's a link, I believe, down below for Angler's Marketplace. If not, I'll put it in the chat. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to start off with some of my own sort of flies, probably like some mullet marauders and some sort of slammer type fly, like the kinky slammer or some sort of jungle slammer, like my own take on a kinky muddler or a slammer. Stuff that I don't tie for other places and stuff like that. But we'll probably end up doing some stuff like this as well. But I'll put it in the chat right now. Which, I got surf candies up for $9.50. I was just testing the waters. I might lower it. I was just essentially made this one listing to, what do you call it? Figure out how this website works. But essentially, Angler's Marketplace is kind of like a place for you to sell your flies or lures and stuff, and anyone can post on there, and they take a small fee. So it's actually really nice. They reached out to me for a while, trying to get me to do this. How can I do this the best? Can I like share my they don't have a share option, do they? Go ahead and just do this. So keep an eye on this. I'll let you guys know when I have more flies on there. I just got some surf candies at the moment, but making Etsy, well, Etsy's like the same thing. But I'm trying out English Marketplace. I talked to the owner. They reached out to me when they made the website, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to put some flies on here?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know, this is when I was clamming a lot." But now I'm gonna set this up. So I'll show you guys real quick. This is English Marketplace. These are Gamakatsu SL12S. They're right around 5 inches. Lateral line, UV resin. These are sand deal style. I'm probably going to lower this to like $8.50 or something. But I generally get at least $8 or $9 for a surf candy. More than not. So I might just go 9. But I'm going to put a bunch of flies on here. So like my own sort of, not patterns, but my own sort of stuff that I don't tie for a lot of other places. So just keep an eye on this. English Marketplace, LI Flies Mike, same thing. There should be links in the descriptions down below. But I'll let you guys know. I'm going to get set up. And that'll be one way you can support, like, me doing what I'm doing, like making videos and streaming, but you can actually get a physical, tangible product that you can then, you know, go and fish with, or, you know, use it to figure out, you know, take a look at how I tie flies, whatever you want to do. Right now I have so many orders for like guides, and I'm getting a good amount done, and for shops and things like that. So I'm just wrapping up this stuff. When I get caught up, I'm just going to go heavy on that. So in fact, I would like to do more of that and less commercial, to be honest with you, because you know, between YouTube and clamming and all that, like tying hundreds of flies, it's just like, oh my god. As somebody who does it all the time, it's you know what I mean, it can be a lot. It's fine when you're just doing that, but then you don't make any money either. So frame it. We could do some framed versions. Get a piece of driftwood, do a watercolor in the back. $300 though. Okay. Show you my watercolors from when I was, you know, 10 or 12. You might be mildly impressed. I'm out. Well, that was my way of getting rid of the international shipping. My turn. Okay. All right. Weeding you guys out. Goddamn post office guy hates me enough already. Where the hell's where Denmark, Sweden, Australia? God damn it! He's like, it's too much work. Why can't you just do the normal stuff? Dublin again. Ugh. They're just classic, like New York post office workers. Like, yeah, next. Yeah, what can I help you with? Yes, I have considered guiding, and that's going to be in my future. The goal is to fix my boat, which I've been trying to do since my trim unit broke, by the way. But eventually just get my captain's license and then guide, probably like part-time or maybe full-time, and work on YouTube and do my fly tying, and probably phase out the clamming. Do some, maybe during the winter. But, you know what I mean? And focus on the LI Flies Mike Empire, is what I like to call it. But yes, you know how many people come up to me at fly shows or on Instagram, like, hey, do you guide? Do you guide? Do you guide? And I'm like, no, but my buddy does. Go check him out, this, that. So, and I got a beautiful boat that was literally ordered, custom built by Steigercraft for a fly fishing guide. So I got a fly fishing guide's boat. 21-foot Steigercraft. Collapsible cleats. Very minimal obstruction. Amazing casting. You can even stand up on the bow and fish for sharks. But, yeah. So that is the goal. I'm just, you know. It's like, what is that? What's the, who am I thinking of? Is the guy that's, isn't there a it comes from a fabled story, right? pushing the rock up the hill, and the rock keeps falling down the hill or something. You like get some momentum, and then it... What does that come from? Is that like an ancient Greek? Or is that something from like the Bible or something? Is it religious, or is it like mythological? Where does that story come from? There's got to be a name, right? I'm just forgetting. I know it's the... Now it's like, you know, everybody knows it, but I feel like there's a story behind it. When's it getting wet again? Your guess is good as mine. Only mildly impressed. How's it going, brother? Those are looking good so far. How many are you tying? Right now we're doing 24 olive and white 2 odds. But I literally just got done with about like 60 or 80. I got them. And now I'm, this is like literally like 200 and something in total for this one person. These Rooster guys don't play around, man, I tell you what. I don't know why they're going down there to catch birds, chickens. Maybe there's something I don't know. But they keep telling me they're going for roosters, so I can only assume. Maybe the cockfighting rings. Yeah, now mind you, this is not all of it, but most of it commercial stuff, so it's, you know. I.e. not $12 a fly, if you get my drift. Which, by the way, these are Rooster Muddlers, not Kinky Muddlers. I gotta say that. Learned that over the years. Just in case. Alright. So what you see me doing is tenting 4 feathers, 2 white, 2 olive, and then I wrap 2 or 3 times, generally 2, should be enough. I think Johnny Keynes does it 3 or 4. Or generally 2 or 3, something like that. And that's to kind of pinch this, push it up, stop it from fouling, and then it also creates a little pocket for this to happen in the back. You see that? Whatever that was, DJ Diddles. Alright, my arm is getting covered in super glue, so let's go ahead and put this in the classic position. Well, you know, credit card bills, car insurance. Speaking of which, I need a new set of tires, so yeah, I'm tying as many flies as possible. Sign me up when you do, you got it. So give me about 30 years at the rate we're going. That's why it's very important to like and subscribe on YouTube, alright? Get the algorithm going. We got to get some more fly fishing nuts in here. Watching. And if you're on Twitch, you got to use that Bezo Bucks, the Twitch Prime, alright? Otherwise, Katy Perry's going to go in space again. Can't have that happen. Okay? But yeah, I gotta set up my English marketplace store is what I gotta do. If I only had more time, I will say that is one thing in this line of work. You're always running out of his time. And it's fishing season. I'm going fishing every day for 2-3 hours and not catching nothing. So it's like, I really gotta hang on to the faith, because at the moment here, I'm really teetering on, let me just not go fishing. Because I have so much stuff to do in general, including YouTube, by the way. Which, do not underestimate the work that goes into. But I will say that's pretty good. I've slowed down a little, though. I was doing like 4 videos a week. At the moment, I have to do so much that I just I got to catch up real quick. But we got an ostrich hollow, which is going to be a sick video. We kind of finally are dipping our toes into filming some bucktail hollows. Again, I'm very self-conscious of my bucktail tying. My hollow flies, that is, so. But, you know, at the same time, I was like, you know what, I may not, and everyone's like, oh man, this looks great. But, you know, it's just part of becoming a better tyer and being, you know, hyper not necessarily hypercritical, but being not self-conscious, aware of your flaws as a fly tyer. There you go. Perfect. That's how you can become better. You know what I mean? Yo,
I'll
Jin.
be dead in 30 years. Better fix that boat sooner.
Well, yeah, you're right. I haven't even taken you out on my boat yet. You had to go slug it out from shore with me. I remember. You're right. I've taken Artie out, who's a longtime mod on my channel. I took him and his wife out on my boat. I took Fuzzy TV, who's a dude who streams fishing, who's originally from like the Midwest or somewhere out there. From Twitch, he was traveling to every state trying to catch a fish in every state, and I got his first striper. We also got him a striper on the fly. I casted it out there for him, but still, he retrieved it and caught him. So we've taken some different people from the community or from Twitch fishing on the boat, and of course a ton of friends of mine and stuff, but while it was still working, really all it is the trim unit. So I'm going to try and get a used trim unit. It's like $500-600, even though I'd like to get a new one. I'm just going to test the compression on the motor. The problem is I need essentially a new boat trailer. So I'm going to have to find like a used boat trailer because mine is so shot, I don't even think it's worth rebuilding. The whole thing is like just rotting essentially because it's probably the original trailer. And I need said tires. So that is my goal. This is my roadmap. Once I get my boat going though, we're going to start like fishing all the time and making videos and stuff like that. Fluke on the fly, you know, whatever, yada yada yada. Fishing off bunker pods. But I'm also still not 100% confident that, like, again, because I'm very, you know, hypercritical of myself. I don't know if I'm confident that, you know, I want more time on my boat. Not that I can't run it, but I want to be able to put people on fish no matter what. And it's tough. And I guess no matter what, you know, there are days you're not going to catch fish, but I want to make sure I'm like fully 100% dialed in with fishing on my boat. I only really got 1.5 years on it. When it comes to running the boat, man, I did some crazy stuff in that thing, so I'm not really worried about that. And I've run boats a lot. When it comes to fly fishing, my particular area where I'll be guiding, right? So a couple more years to that under my belt, and then I'm going for that captain's license. Nope, no bass yet. So, what are you gonna do? Did we ever figure out the name of the story of the guy pushing the rock up the hill? I feel like that was like a Roman or Greek thing, wasn't it? Euclides or something? It probably was like some cool name. We don't have any historians in the chat? Damn it. Alright. Keep going. We only got a couple more tails left, which is nice because I have to pull out all of this olive hackle now. It's going to make a mess. I got enough white hackle here, but... Okay, that feather, see ya. That one's trash. Sometimes you'll see sometimes there's some feathers with a slight twist. I can actually like massage them back and use them, but if it's too twisted, I'm not even going to worry about it. Like, whatever, dude. I've literally gone through, I've literally tied probably 1,000 saddle hackle to these hooks so far with all these roosters. They're 4 feathers each. So, I've probably done at least 1,000 tented hackle so far in the past couple weeks or something. Sisyphus? Is that actually it, or are you trolling me, Crunkles? Very well could be. I'll take your word for it. Syphilis? What's his name? By the way, I just have my random music that we've liked or favored for the stream. Could be marble music, it could be chill, whatever. Over the years that I have on Epidemic Sound. So a lot of these, like, we used to listen to, like, on repeat. But it is. That's it. Sisyphus. Sisyphus? I'm trying to see if it's, like, do you have to pronounce it a certain way? All right. There you go. Thank you very much, Crunkle Sanders. Look, with a name like Crunkle Sanders, I just got to double check. You could be a little bit of a jokester. Sisyphus pushing the rock up the hill. Now, I don't remember how the story goes. Is it obviously like he would get the rock up to a certain point and it would fall back down and he would continue doing it? Was that it? And somehow he had to learn, or he never learned, and that was the lesson? We got to get a repeat. Sisyphus. Yeah. So we got a little Sisyphus moment going on. We got to get out of it. That's just how it is. That's life. Thank you. Thank you for all the Greek historians in the chat. I mean, there's always a couple. That's why... That is one of the benefits of streaming. You can just rely on everyone else to know everything. Forever punishment. Gotcha. Well, I'm kind of fucked. It's part of my French, but... By the way, I still need to figure out... Oh, you're a first-time chatter. I thought I didn't recognize your name. Welcome, Crunkle. I still need to set up the BT... I think it's a BT TV thing or something. I want to get both YouTube and Twitch chat up on the screen so you guys can see each other. I got to sit down and just do some stream maintenance at some point. New emotes. Things like that. New badges. Redo some of the UI. It's been a while. Some of the stuff we've been using for so long. Fucked, yeah. There you go. So we said you just do a little 360-degree bucktail. Very simple. And these are right about 3 1/4 inch. Something like that. Maybe 4 inch. I think you wanted 3 1/2, but that would that was a little small for this hook size, so took a little liberty. The other ones are 6, so I probably would have gone 4 inch on these. Honestly, when I tie these for my like if I tie these for somebody, I'm tying them at 4 inch and then 6 inch on the 4-aught. All right, we're almost over the hill. Please, the rock, don't fall. All right, the Rock Johnson. In fact, we're gonna grab this other bag, which has some nice small ones. All the hackle. I mean, this is a, check this out, 1 ounce bag, by the way. You gotta love to see it. Unfortunately, they're all really nice, and they're too long, and I don't want to just break them apart. So we gotta find some smaller olive. But I do have a bag of hackle, which I think has smaller olive ones, because we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. So I don't want to go ahead. And also when you open these giant bags, even though I took it outside and shaked the crap out of it yesterday, I guarantee you, it's just, there's going to be little feathers flying everywhere. And I don't want to deal with that. One of the many woes and hazards of tying flies for a living is having to vacuum every single day. Because if not, you're just going to have a trail of bucktail and feathers pieces following me out my room. Going down the stairs. All right, we gotta keep going. I'm going fishing at 6:30, or at 6:30. I'm gonna stop the stream, suit up, and I'm going into the dark. So probably gonna regret it, but eventually I feel like I have to catch something, right? If I don't catch anything by like May 15th, I'm just gonna sell all of my fly rods. You know. Get a tenkara set up and a float and just put a piece of bunker on there and just get dragged around the bay. We're in dire straits right now. The morale is super low in the fly fishing department. I'm starting to lose it. Because it's really nice when you spend all day working on fly fishing videos or fly tying. Tying flies. It's nice to actually catch fish. You know what I mean? I will say, at least with fly fishing, it's like pretty enjoyable just with my switch rod, getting a 120-foot cast every time with the wind at my back, and it's, you know, fly fishing is relaxing. But if you're like me, then you have an overwhelming desire to catch fish. Arguably an unhealthy addiction. Probably hence why I'm single. Ain't nobody got time for that. The bluefish are showing up soon. I'm gonna have to drag my kayak across town with a bicycle. Oh, there's Mike again. He's got his I got a little trailer, and I'm dragging my trailer in my kayak across town because I need tires. Oh, bluefish must be here. You in the same boat? Yeah, I know, James. It's apparently it's been tough, but apparently some people have been slamming them. So I don't know. We'll see what this is. Fishing is cyclical. Is something you'll learn. There were years that I went by when I was a kid that was okay, and there were times, peak periods of striped bass populations when it's doing healthy, that the fishing was so good that I've never seen it since. Like blitzing of like 30-inch to 40-inch fish on the beach in like May or something, or like in September. I don't even see blitzes on the beach on my side of the beach anymore. You don't even see fish blitzing in the water. If it is, it's way offshore. I don't know what happened. The structure is just the fish don't come in, but it's like there's not as many fish. But yeah, I don't know. There was a time, man, where it was pretty nuts. And before my time, after the moratorium, I'd say probably when I was a kid, I mean, it was phenomenal. I was catching so many big fish on like surf casting gear like it was nothing. But there was a time, probably when I wasn't fully fledged in my fishing time, like in the 90s, where like striper fishing boomed because it was so good. And there was also a time after the moratorium where the fishing was so good. Where I mean, we're talking about like people were catching 30, 40 pounders in the bay, you know what I mean, in August at night or something on the fly, you know. It was actually surprising how many people used to fly fish back in the day because the fishing was so good that it was worth fly fishing in their opinion. For a lot of people, it's not worth only being able to cast 100 feet when you could just fish with a spinning rod. It's so much more efficient at searching. It's arguably just better at catching fish a lot of times, unless it's specific times. But we all know that if you fly fish, you're kind of going for a challenge a lot of times, especially in saltwater. Maybe trout's different, right? But when it comes to striper fishing, arguably you could just go out and catch more fish with a surf rod and a bucktail throughout the year. So there was a time where a lot of the older guys I know that are die-hard fishing guys now, they actually used to fly fish because it was just so good back then. But hopefully we'll see that again. We'll see a resurgence. With slot size, you're seeing a lot of slot size fish, which is good because of the slot. But we still have a high catch and release mortality rate, stuff like that. They're still losing habitat, and there's all sorts of stuff going on. The Chesapeake, yada, yada, yada. But bunker populations are good. That's good to sustain a healthy bass population. The problem is bass aren't having healthy, they're not reproducing successfully enough, and the stock isn't good in that regard. So what you're generally going to see, which I'm seeing the past couple years, is a lack of small fish, which are like, sweet, I'm just catching slot size fish, which is awesome. But the issue is those slot size fish will eventually get caught or move out of the particular areas, whatever, and you're going to need like a replacement, the past 5 years of fish to replace them in terms when they get to the mature age to spawn. So what I'm hoping we don't see is in like the next 10 to 15 years, this, downward trend, and then eventually we'll climb back up again. But it could be like the way it works, you know, with some of these things. It could be like 4 or 5 years of just like not very good fishing. So I'm trying not to be pessimistic, but I'm also being somewhat realistic and being like, well, okay, it was cold at the start of this year. Maybe that's why fish weren't showing up. Okay. All right, well, the water temps are like 60 degrees now, and it's almost May, and I've had one bite. When in the past, you know, you check my streams, we were like slamming fish. And this is over the course of like how many years of me living here. It's been consistent down there, so I don't want to, you know, it's just been one spot. I can't be all doom and gloom, but I'm like, you know, I'm keeping my eye out. So we'll see what the deal is. No matter what, that's why it's good to support places like Stripers Forever, Saltwater Guide Association, to ensure that striped bass can have a sustainable fishery. So, because my entire livelihood is based around striped bass fishing. Making videos of fly tying and fishing for them, tying flies for them, you know. Luckily clamming's good, so at least we got that. If that ever goes to crap, then we living with Mike Ross in a van down by the creek. So we'll see. I don't want to be too pessimistic, but it's also important, like, you know, you gotta, like, what's going on here, you know what I mean? So we'll see. Maybe tonight. That's what I keep telling myself. Maybe tonight. At least I got a couple White Claws to keep me company while I'm down there, you know what I mean? I mean, you know how much, this is a good way to gauge how much I go down to the creek every during the year while fishing, is how comfortable the geese and the swans get while I'm down there. And this year I had there's a ton of geese down there, but there's a pair that has a nest across from me. I just watch them every day. Mother Goose is what I call her. And a raccoon stole an egg the other day. I literally watched it. It was crazy. And she was like fighting it off. I'm seeing so much wild stuff down there. Eagles, osprey, fighting over territory. But the mother goose and the father goose, this other pair, have like 12 little baby geese. And they were like 5 to 10 feet away, right behind me on the point where I put my backpack and fish. And they were sitting there at low tide. And I was like, well, now I want to go get a new fly. But I was like, they just got all settled down, and there were a bunch of little baby geese, like, doing that. And I'm like, all right, well, let me just stand here, I guess. And I slowly walked to my backpack, got my fly out, and they just didn't even move. I'm like, wow, they really have gotten used to me now. Because a pair of geese with baby geese, they're generally very on the lookout. But they're like, oh, this guy's no threat. He's down here puffing on durries, not catching nothing every night. We know him. Another good indicator is whether or not the osprey that lives where I gotta walk by, there's an osprey nest, and I have to walk by it. If the female osprey doesn't fly up when I walk by, and at the start of the season she kind of gets all crazy, and then as it goes on, she just like hangs out, doesn't even make a noise as I walk by. And I'm like, yo, what's up? But recently, I don't know, she's like gone. There was a male and female at that nest. There's another nest nearby. And what I saw is the male at the nest that's near me that I walked by. He was getting bunker. Multiple bunker a day. The other nest wasn't. And they were coming over and attacking the male with the bunker, and then attacking the female, the ones that nest by where I walk. This other osprey nest was coming over. And they were like essentially stopping them from getting bunker to the nest. And nobody was getting the bunker because it would just get thrown on the ground because the male osprey was getting dive bombed every 2 seconds. So it's really, I mean, I've literally just been watching this for the past 2 weeks. The ospreys, and they're just attacking each other like dogfighter. And now I don't see the female osprey on my side. I almost think they like kicked her out, or like she just left because of all the bullshit. But the male is still here, so I don't know what's going on. But every time he would come back with a bunker, they would fly over from the nest. They would go nuts, and they would just start assaulting. It's wild. New Brunswick stock. I'm really hoping the New Brunswick fish merge up with our stock down south, and we get a replenishment of striped bass. But if you're from New Brunswick, you're probably hoping that the fish stay up there. You know what I mean? Apparently, it's really good up there in Canada. The striper fishing on the East Coast now is phenomenal. Maybe you're gonna see like Maine start really seeing like extra phenomenal fishing. But I don't know if they go south, to be honest with you. One of the reasons is they have really good rivers up there, which is like the perfect substrate for striper spawning. The thing is, the temperatures they were never right. Now the temperatures globally are kind of going up. Striped bass are settling up there. There's always been some, but I think and the thing that they hate about it is they literally eat all of the salmon fry. So all of the Atlantic salmon that are up there that people really care about, the striped bass eat. And the guys up there hate. If you striper fish for them, you probably love it. But if you salmon fish, they probably want to kill all the striped bass, honestly. Because you'll see, like, you know, when you see blitzes like we do on silver sides, you'll see that, but on salmon fry. You see it in California, too. Like, they'll release... There was a video recently that was going around on Instagram. They released a bunch of salmon fry, but they did it when the striped bass are, like, in full swing. And the striped bass were just eating every single... These poor salmon fry. Every single one that was swimming by was just getting... It looked like a blitz going on, but it was in the river. So, they're a nuisance to some people, but they're, you know, game fish to others. You know what I mean? It's pretty interesting. Honestly. Oh, God. I gotta shut up. I gotta focus on these. Well, I really just gotta stop thinking about how terrible the striper fishing's been. So, you gotta stay positive. There's definitely something while fishing. But I will say, this is definitely... It needs to get better. Otherwise, this will officially be already the worst year of fishing like I've had in like 10 to 15 years probably. So I'm just hoping for it. Haven't had a good fish on the fly in a while. Yeah. You can get them from boats. If you got a boat, you can get big fish on the fly now, and it's a really good chance too. A lot of chances. That's why I really gotta get my boat fixed, because under those bunker pods, man, there's a lot of decent fish. You take a bunker, you live line it. It's almost guaranteed you're gonna get like a fish that's 15 to 20 pounds, if not 30, 40. Certain time of the year. It's ridiculous. We did it, me and my buddy. I was fly fishing the whole time, but he was like, hey, watch this. Snagged one, brought it back, live lined it, and 3 or 4 fish in a row. We were just going bunker pod to bunker pod. You don't get anything, you move on to the next one. But the first one we pulled up to, it had like 3 or 4 fish, and one of them was like probably 30, 40 pounds. You gotta realize though, those fish are tough. Like, you have to tease them up. It's not like fishing a rip off Block Island where the fish are set up, right? These fish are patrolling these pods. And we got one that was, we had a bunker live lined, and I'm like, yo, strip it in. The fish came right up to the surface, this big fish. He was like reeling the bunker in, teasing it, and I got my fly right next to it, and he like kind of nosed it a little and looked at it and then turned off. So those fish at that size are very smart. I think what we need to do is get some docks, which are the big walk the dog plugs. You take the hooks off, and you got to tease them up. And then throw flies. That's like a guaranteed way of doing it. What I want to do is I want to throw Sadati slammers under the bunker pods and essentially either blind cast or sight cast them. You know, but we are going to try and live line without a hook essentially and like get them teased up. But I also want to try the, you know, the popper teasing as well. So I'm going to have to experiment because it's tough, man. I tried it, and those big fish they're really smart. Especially when they're surrounded by millions of bunker at once. It's essentially the most effective way to get big striped bass on the fly is tease them with a big popper type thing with no hooks. Or a live bunker. Tease and fly, yeah. That's how a lot of guides do it. A lot of these guides are taking people out, and when they catch these big bass, you see, they're teasing them up with plugs, and people just cast the flies. Which some people are like, ah, whatever, who cares? They want to catch them like fishing more traditionally. I'll take them any which way, because my biggest fish on the fly is probably like under 20 pounds or right around 20 pounds. Barely, maybe 19 and a half. And that's over 20 something years, so it's tough getting big fish on the fly. Really is. It's also a matter of trying to find the fish. Like, fishing for a large striped bass compared to regular striped bass is literally like a whole different type of fishing. You can be in the right place at the right time, but if you're specifically targeting big striped bass, it really is a different type of fishing than regular striper fishing. Generally different places, more different types of flies and rods and stuff. It's not like you'll be just fishing in the bay. Back in the 90s, you could fish in the bay and catch 30, 40 pounders quite regularly. But nowadays, you got to go out in like the ocean, the rips and stuff like that. Yeah, some people are like, whatever, you know what I mean? But here's the thing, like, the other realistic way of catching large striped bass is using sinking lines in 80 foot of water, which, let me tell you, is not the most fun way of fly fishing. But when you know that there's a 50 pounder down there and you're fishing giant bunker flies, it's sick. But you know what it is? You're not casting, you're flipping your fly out, and you're letting the line out with ultra fast sinking lines as the boat drifts, because you're literally trying to get a 12-inch fly with a ton of lead wire and custom sinking lines essentially down to 80, 90 foot of water where the fish will even see it. So what you do is you strip it 5, 10 times and then you let it sink back down because you're drifting with the tide. So you don't want to strip it all the way up, right? Because then you have to wait all that time. So essentially for the drift, what you're doing is as you get set up, you start the drift, you flip your line out, let it sink as quick as possible. You count to about 2 minutes probably to get to 80 foot of water. And you probably don't even get 80. Maybe you get 60. We could like see our flies on the sonar or something. But you'll see these giant marks of striped bass down there on these humps in like 90 foot of water, 80 foot of water. And Mark got a couple, Mark Sadati. So I think I want to get a better setup when it comes to sinking line, like a faster sinking line for that. But it's a very specialized type of fishing. In a certain points in New England that have like Montauk, Block Island, probably Cape Cod, where there's like really tons of water passing through, and there are these offshore, you know, when I say offshore, I mean like up to 100 foot of water sort of places where it's like 60, 70 foot of water, drop offs and stuff offshore, you know, a couple miles somewhere, like off the coast a mile, where these fish settle and stuff. It's like a whole different type of fishing. The other option is fishing at night is your best bet during the summer and stuff. Just fish at night. Big striped bass come out at night. It's very unlikely you're going to be catching large striped bass on the fly during the day from shore. You can, but fishing either sunset through the night or like at night or dawn, like the hour before dawn. If you really want to try and catch big fish, that's going to be your best bet. You can catch them during the middle of the day, but from shore, I mean, it's going to be tough. And this is like general fishing. I'm not talking about fall fishing, or certain specialized. I'm talking about general fishing, a beach, a bay, whatever. Oh shit. Something weird is going on. My bobbin is getting tighter and looser. I think it's the thread. It's like material getting caught inside the bobbin. The sucker put its money's worth in though. This right bobbin, probably well over 10, 12,000, 15,000 flies on this sucker. Yo, Southern Fly Guy, thank you for the 11 months with the tier 1. Appreciate that. Get some claps in the chat, some LA Flies hearts. Thank you. Biggest fish, an hour before dawn. There you go. Yeah, it's the hour. You know what? Because striped bass use the nighttime to hunt. Just like sharks, whatever, anything. Any sort of predatory game fish. They have better vision than bait fish, and the bait fish get disorientated as the sun starts coming up or going down. Because they school up as a defense response, but they don't know necessarily what to do or where to come, and the changing of the light screws them up. And at nighttime, striped bass are probably literally invisible to bait fish because of their camouflage, and they hunt from below. So they're using the natural like moonlight and stuff to look up and see profiles. That's why we use darker flies, but who knows? Woo-hoo! Thank you, Southern Fly Guy. I appreciate that, my friend. How you doing? By the way, all the giveaway stuff's been shipped out. We got Surgeon, Craggerol, Wolf, Jaren, and Paul. So we got 2 YouTubers and 3 Twitchers. I got some flies in the mail, so we're all officially caught up. That being said, though, how long have we been streaming? Alright, let's finish this last tale and then we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to use the restroom. I always enjoy your vids. Oh, well, thank you, Southern Flag. I appreciate that. Hey, dude, that's what I'm here for. I'm glad people have been enjoying the fly time videos. It takes a lot of time and effort. And, but it's always worth it. People are like, dude, I tied this fly. I went out. I caught a nice fish. Love your videos or whatever. I'm like, hey, that's what we're here for. Teaching you how to tie the flies you want to fish. Hopefully. 'Tis the idea, at least. Because at some point, I will lose my mind. I'll probably become a crazy, you know, just like get old, you know. Go senile. I might as well put it out there, right? The new movie, Lefty Cray movie by Flip Palette? No, I haven't. Probably should at some point, but I saw they just had the Lefty Tie Cray Fest. Or Lefty Cray Tie Fest, I'm sorry. I believe is how it's lined up. Let's use these skinny boas. Whew, it's getting hot in here. You gotta love streaming during the summer and late spring. Starts getting hot. Lefty Cray, the greatest of all time, I think is the title. I'll have to check it out. Flip Palette's awesome. I love Flip Palette. Of course, everybody loves Lefty Cray. Who doesn't? He's a legend, just like Popovic's. Flip Palette does a bunch of bow hunting. Traditional bow hunting too. So I met her a while ago. It was funny. This is back when I was like peak, kind of getting started in commercial fly tying, and I was traditional bow hunting at the same time. Flip Palette liked all my bow hunting stuff, none of my fly tying stuff though. And I was like, true bow hunter. He's probably like, these guys' flies suck. He's like, nice recurve. But I love Flip Palette. He's all. I mean, I used to watch Flip Palette's show when I was a kid. Him and Jose Wejeve's show and any of the saltwater fly fishing shows on ESPN were like, I would never miss. I watched every single one. Alright. Marabou time, but first a break. What marabou are we going to use? I have my marabou here. Walker's K Chronicles, that was the name of it. I was trying to remember what the name of it. That's where he was like based out of. The K, Walker's K, right? Yeah, these guys are legends, man. He's a cool dude too. Real outdoorsman. Is this what happened? Oh, we have more olive here. Already separated it. Oh god, man, it's getting hot in here. Alright, so we don't need the marabou to be extremely long. So I do have these other 2 marabous, which I think are appropriate. We might just strip it off the quill. We'll see. But essentially, olive marabou, palmered or tied on, top and bottom. Then we do our kinky ties. And before we do the kinky ties, we're gonna do it together. We're gonna have to take out the slinky fiber, cut it into lengths, descending lengths. I might need to mix it with some SF blends because I'm running dangerously low on the white. I have a bunch more coming, but you know, it's always non-stop with these things. So, all right, we're going to take a quick little break. I got to I'm actually going to shut my camera off for this next couple of minutes because it is getting so hot in here. I think it'll be good, but I just don't want to worry about it. It's like 80-something degrees in here right now. So, we're going to take a quick little break. I'll put the Albie highlight on. We'll be back in a couple minutes. Now's a good time. Stretch your legs, grab a drink. We're going to be streaming for the next couple hours. I'm going fishing around 6:30 is probably when I'm going to end the stream. So we got another 2 hours of fly tying for me to torture myself. Tying more Kinky Muddlers. Guinness time. We got some, you know what? Look, I used to go heavy on the Guinness. Now, I'm sitting around 170-something, 180 at times. I've kind of fully switched to White Claws. I know. I used to make fun of my friend. He was drinking white girl drinks. But I will say, they're not bad. I like Guinness during the winter time and stuff. But, yeah, when it starts getting hotter out, I kind of do like the White Claws, believe it or not. I know. Look, lay your shame on me. It's okay. I'll take it. I've earned my place with the Guinness, the respect of Guinness, all right? I probably, just on stream, I probably should get a medal for how many Guinnesses I've drinking over the years. Tying flies. So, but, yeah, I probably lost like 15, 20 pounds. And I don't drink a lot, it's just I have like one or two, you know what I mean? Every couple nights while I'm just hanging out, you know, I'm 30-something years old, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with having a couple beers. But that adds up over a while, you know what I mean? So, it is nice. I did lose like probably 15, 20 pounds from just not, you know, because it's pretty high calories or something like that. And adjusting my diet, of course. I cut out most of the sweets stuff. I had the 8-year, and it made amazing drinks. A frigate? Yeah. Like the aircraft cruiser. 2 ounce rum, 1 ounce lime, 1 ounce of simple. There you go. Cheers. All right. I'm just going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a second. All right, I'm going to use the restroom. We'll put on the Albie highlight, and then it's back to, we're going to start cranking away here, because it's a little bit easier what we got going on, so. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Stay tight, alright? Yeah, keep it tight. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Aiden. Knuckle buster. Are you good? Do you need me to do anything?
Yeah, I might need a ride. Yes.
Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna turn now.
I'm gonna try and get on the valve.
Yeah, get on the valve. Alright, you're doing good. Keep doing your thing. I'm gonna move us away. No, that's a nice one.
Oh, let's go!
Come here, hold next to your alley. Good job.
That's sick.
Alright. Nice.
Let's go! Pelvic slap.
Good job, dude.
Yee.
We're in the back already?
Looking down the barrel of a 12 gauge little tuning, bro. On the alligator too.
Oh my god, dude! What the fuck? Woohoo! Oh my god. Yep. Oh my god! Gotta turn the boat so I can cast. Oh my god, dude! Alright, get back to catch him, Diego.
You can't kill him now. There's a shark.
Frigates!
Howdy?
Frigates.
Frigate.
Whoa! Whoa! Alright. Oh, camera's off, I forgot. We having some issues. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. No dropped frames on my side. So maybe it's Restream or YouTube. I think we're okay. We still there? Could be YouTube doing YouTube things. Marabou. We got to do 24 of these. I think we're gonna strip and tie. Maybe Palmer. We'll see. Probably strip and tie due to the size. Also, it's more durable in the long term. Now to make a mess. Oh, you thought we made a mess? We're just getting started. That might be enough. Probably not. Place your bets. Do you think that'll be enough? Depends how much I use. I'm not going to palmer it, because on these smaller ones it's not always ideal. Well, we'll see. No, I'm not. Tie this sucker on. Well, we could. Problem is, you see how long it is? It kind of screws up the taper. So we're going to strip and tie. Unfortunately, kind of takes, I guess it's almost equal time. Considering. I should probably just strip a bunch of it off right now in one shot. That's what I think I'm going to do. Let's do that right now, shall we? You need like kind of the perfect length marabou for this size to palmer it. It's kind of annoying. The only problem is doing this with marabou. You see there's going to be a bunch of little feathers flying everywhere that we got to deal with. Yeah, actually just do this ahead of time now to make it easier on myself. I say easier. If I go to pick up this marabou and it's all of it's getting picked up every time and it's just falling all over the place, then I've learned my lesson. This will be a good lesson for all of us. Let's see if this is practical, or is it easier just to do it one at a time? I feel like this will be faster if I can work with it. It's all about being time efficient when you're tying flies in bulk. Unless you want to spend the rest of your life doing it. I try to keep it lined up at the proper level. Some of it's a little bit longer. That's fine. You can trim it. It's been all stem with 1/2 inch to palmer. That is the other good point. Thank you. I didn't even mention that because I just subconsciously am looking at the marabou like, this isn't the best looking either. I have some nice stuff, but it's too long. There would barely be any tail sections sticking out of the feathers. You want those feathers having room to move behind the tail. That's kind of the whole point. So that's a good observation. You get a gold star. You also got flies in the mail, so does Jin, Wolf, Jaren, and I mentioned it earlier, but just to reiterate, so keep an eye out. See, this is the one thing, like when it gets like this, marabou's so light, it literally gets stuck to your fingers at times because it's almost weightless. Well, I sent you, just to be careful with the weight, I sent you one, but I'm sending you guys pretty much flies from videos. So you got from the recent Dixon Devil Worm, which by the way, Mark Sadati named. Mark texted me after a whole paragraph of like, oh, hell yeah. So, you know, when that has more than 500 views one day, it's going to be famous. It's funny how some videos like do pretty well and some others don't. Right now, the rabbit strip jiggy has been getting a fair amount of views for being kind of old. But for some reason, YouTube's been recommending it. It's funny how the algorithm works. I thought the hollow fly would be the hot ticket commodity, but Funny thing is, most of our giveaway videos have less views than the regular fly videos. And it's a fly time video with it, but we're also giving away the fly. I'm surprised. Like, nah, I'm good. Oh, well, thank you, Jen. I think you meant infamous, but yeah, yeah. Alright, well, it is certainly hot. That's why I'm going fishing when it's late out. Probably wouldn't even be that hot over there because there's always wind, but I want to go fish the sunset. The magic hour, as we like to call it. It's a little bit easier to... And now I have seen a little surface activity here and there. I don't know if they're perch. I'm really hoping for the odd weak fish. We're starting to get into weak fish time, so that's why I'm kind of transitioning tonight. If there's no bass, maybe I'll finally catch my fabled unicorn weak fish. I actually might need to drive like 2 minutes instead, but I'd rather walk, so that's just what I'm doing. But one day I will catch a weak fish down there. Middle of May, while the bluefish are going nuts, that's when they set up... Yay! They set up gill nets. But there's gill nets all around where I fish, out in the big part of the bay. And they get a ton of weak fish. I never caught one on the fly from shore. Not yet, at least. Alright, let's see how efficient we can be with this. Super glue, super glue, super glue, every single tie. So really, the Kinky Muddlers only really tied on a small portion. I should probably put that marabou on top of the hackle, though. So I have a little bit more room to work with. It's tough. If you have too much room, then you're going to have to put another tie on there, which throws off the whole equation. If you don't have enough room, then you're going to be working with no room, which is terrible. Leads to sloppy flies. So you have to find a balance of getting that hollow tie as close as you can to the hook eye without too much. Not an easy fly to get right, to get the profile. I still struggle, but this is about, I'd say right around the hook point, a little bit ahead of it is where I start the Kinky Muddler. And this is a little bit more far forward, but that's okay. We'll just have to be careful. Now we got to do that 23 more times. Child's play. So yeah, I'm going to tie the marabou on top so I have more room to work with, I think. Problem is, you can't go too far forward because then your thread's going to slip. Oh, the woes of fly tying. And again, I don't want that marabou too long. Yeah, because that right there is what I want. If I went ahead of that, I wouldn't have enough room. So you have to gauge. Play it by ear. Actually, don't want to go too far back. This is the transition material. Just you don't want super long kinky fiber to the tail. You can, but you almost need a V-tie it at that point. Oh, I also was not focused right. Apologies. I really should set up like a monitor in front of me. Then that kind of screws up my whole fly tying filmmaking stuff I do, but no! That could have been disastrous if it was like covered in super glue on the tip. probably did get some on here, but whatever. Marabou does not like getting super glue on it. Very efficiently soaks it up, too efficiently. Oh, now we tie. Marabou. So, does anybody have any fishing plans for the week? I'm pretty much just going every day locally, right by me. Hoping for another bite. I've had one. It's the only thing that probably has kept me going every day is the fact I did have a fish grab my fly. Boom! Boom! Not weeds. So, that was good. That made me think like a couple fish came in and we're just starting to see it now or something. That's kind of my hope, is more are on the way. It's usually a couple early arrivals, but they're just late this year. By the way, I'll say this again, your thumbnail is your greatest fly tying tool. Use it. There's no better tool for manipulating material like that. Alright, I need to get closer because my back is starting to give me some issues here. Like sitting semi-awkward because that's just always how it is with the camera setup. Oh, you bastard. Why you gotta do me like that? Whatever. Driving me crazy. I'm supposed to be efficient. It's like when you're playing Age of Empires 2 when you screw up your build. There's gonna be a bunch of horses attacking me any moment. Now I don't have archers. It should be good. Oh man, it's getting hot in here. I'm gonna have to start using the AC pretty soon during these streams. Getting to that time of the year now. It's like really gorgeous outside, but inside with like all the cameras, the lights, the computers, it just like becomes a sauna in here at times. It's still okay at the moment. It's not like terrible. At some point I actually need to start worrying about how hot the camera gets, for instance. Right now I'm even like, hopefully this thing does not overheat on us. That's why it's good to take a break every once in a while and just shut it off for a couple minutes, let it cool down. It does pretty good. I actually had to buy a new camera. The camera body alone was almost like $1,000 or whatever, but this is an upgrade over the old Sony a6000 I had, which we would use, and it would overheat like every 30-45 minutes. It was so annoying. This is a much better camera now. But, you know, there's only so much you can do when you're... It's so damn hot. Okay. Also, do we have... Please tell me we have the audio filter off so you guys haven't been hearing weird music the whole time. Okay, thank God. Oof, I don't have Rev here. The music's probably... I mean, nobody's even told me how loud is the music. Can you guys hear? You want me to turn it up a little bit? Do you even care? Is it fine? You're just chilling? You probably got your own stuff in the background or something? You guys let me know. How's my audio level? So how are you guys hearing it? Minus 40 decibel. Might be a little low, but I don't want it to be too loud. Would it be faster just to coat the thread with the glue and wrap it on that way? Potentially, but I want to ensure I get like total coverage with the. That's why I'm using the piece of paper to spread it around, particularly underneath. Well, we've already did hit this part with super glue, but I mean, I guess you could, but I feel like it's potato, tomato, something like that, and carrots, whatever you like. You know what I mean? We could try it. Let's just try it for science. How about that? Just to appease you, Craggerl. I know you're like, hey, gee, whoa. You might be right. Am I gonna do it? No, because I've already done it the way I've done it for so long now. But we can try it for science. The greatest minds in Flytime come together. Tie a fly like Salt Bay. That Turkish dude. Just like throwing super glue, like sprinkling it on there. Do a parody video. Get copy striked. Salt Bay. Forgot about that guy. Oh, whoa. We talked about this. Yeah. Kind of works. I don't like it though. Probably ended up getting super glue on my fingers over time. But it does kind of work. I didn't really get really great coverage though, but it did work. It did do a rain of super glue evenly, perfectly. Not across the whole thing, but around a section. No, nothing yet. Nothing yet, Charlie. Are you the aquarium name? Did you change your name? Did you what was I gonna say? You got a fly rod, right? Congrats. Very nice, very nice. You kept asking me if you could tie these flies as jigs. I was going to tell you just to buy a fly rod at some point. You know what I mean? Like, just do it. So I'm glad subconsciously I got across to you with my telepathy. It's like when you see somebody like fishing finesse fish on a fly rod. Just get a spinning rod, damn it. Nah, joke. By the way, tying fly jigs is awesome. You should definitely do it if you haven't. If you spin fish as well. Yes, aquarium guy. Hey, yo, aquarium guy. Yeah, nothing yet. I've only had one bite, and that was last week. Probably around hour before sunset, I think, on outgoing tide. It's going to be incoming. Now, I talked to somebody today out west. They had fish up to 30, almost 40 inches. South Shore. So that's I'm not going to tell you where, because obviously that would be a breach of trust. But hit the beaches or the bays on the South Shore. Probably in the mornings or something. Incoming tides, apparently. So I've been hitting outgoing a lot because of the, early time of the year. You want to make sure you have that warm water, but the water's pretty warm now. I think we can start fishing the incoming more regularly. And I have been fishing incoming, outgoing. Dead low I went yesterday. So I'm mixing it up to hopefully try and find some fish. Can't cast for crap. Tried learning a double haul and it's a mess. If the wind ever dies out on the weekend, I'll get out there. Yeah, if you want to link up, let me know. I could give you some fly casting instructions. I'm not a professional at it, but I could probably give you a couple basics. It's not hard once you get the basics. It's just a matter of learning how to ride a bike. Once you learn it, you're set. And also, I'm telling you right now, if you're gonna commit to it, you need to go when it's windy. First, I mean, you can, if you want to get like a lesson or essentially pseudo, or you want somebody to show you to get more comfortable, but you need to go when it's windy. You need to learn to back cast. It's just going to be windy every day. It's been windy every single day of the spring so far. Every single day. I think there was one day where it wasn't windy in the afternoon. Other than that, it's been blowing 15 to 12 miles per hour every day. Oh, well, there you go. You can also just get a sinking line. But, yeah, sounds good. Oh, you got a boat? You don't even need to know how to cast. You just drive right over the fish. Preferably while somebody's already fly fishing. Just pull right up with your line dragging behind you. Just troll. You like hook some other guy's fly line, and like you have a special clip on there that catches his fly line, and then you just reel it in. Wow, look at this fish I got. You're driving right over people's line. Who needs to cast? You just flip it off the side of the boat. That's albie fishing for you. People flying up like they're goddamn running up to a NASCAR like pit tire change. And then wonder why the albies go away. They're like barreling at like 40 knots, like pull right up, almost like fall off the side of the boat. I have done that, but I don't do that when other people are around. And it's only certain times. Sometimes the fish move so fast, but if like there's tons of people around, you have to have some etiquette, right? But some people just lose it's albie madness. Their wife just left them because of albies. You know what I mean? It's chaos. Lost their job, living down at the marina now for September. All right, how we looking? A little bit of marabou goes a long way, by the way. Dude, my wife just left me. Funny you said that. Mm-hmm. Round of applause. For Anonymous. Now with you, I never know if it's true or not, so I'm just going to assume it's not. But hey, if it is, then you know what? Even better. Making eels? No, we're tying a... These are rooster fish flies. Also, you guys need to let me know if it goes out of focus. I'm sorry, I love to move my vise around. These are for Baja, for rooster fish. And I have quite literally hundreds that I'm working on. Never ends. Somebody did just order some tuna versions, by the way. The prototype, we're omitting the regular Chinese saddle hackle, and we're going just with skinny hackle. But this is Arex Blue Water, 7-8 inches sand eel version. Some guy ordered 3 of these with a custom color that I'm going to put together. So I got some hooks of those as well, but a lot of the muddlers going on, you know what I mean? Never ends. God. Okay. Fly fishing for Baja? Yeah. The whole state in Mexico. I don't know if it's a state or region or town or county. The whole residency of Baja you can go fly fishing for, including the Roosters. Yeah, it's definitely a bucket list fish. I've tied so many GT flies. I've tied so many rooster fish flies. I've tied a bunch of tuna flies. Never gone fishing for any of these things. One day I need to, because the amount of goodwill I've done just by tying good fishing flies for these species. Now, mind you, people have bought them, so we've both profited. But still, I put my heart and soul into these things. If somebody's going for roosters, that's probably a fish of a lifetime, potentially a trip. You got to do it right. This ain't some mass-produced by 15 people touching it. You know what I mean? In a sweatshop somewhere. With Frank Reynolds over the microphone. Get back to work! We need more deceivers. Well, this is going to essentially guides people putting together an expedition for a bunch of people going there. So it's either guides, shops, or groups. But I'm trying to stop doing bulk as much and just selling direct. Because as much as I love commercial fly tying, I'm still going to do it. I'm getting half of the amount of money, of course. So, but, you know, you got to take what you got to take. You know what I mean? But I'm going to start building up my presence and promoting my Angler's Marketplace storefront and stuff like that. I already do a bunch of private flies for people through Instagram. People that have ordered flies for years. But, you know, I had a website before, but the cost of running a website is so expensive. It's ridiculous. Even Wix or something like that. Dude, what is going... This thread is shot. It's like all wrapped around. Let's just break that. There we go. At some point, it will come undone. I'm warning you right now. Hopefully, it doesn't happen until I'm done tying. Sweatshop created by your PC exhaust? True. But, hey, this is a American sweatshop that I'm working out of. And it's not the bad version of a sweatshop. It's me trying to... It's like creating a sauna while I fly tie. Which, by the way, it's generally not this hot in my room when I'm... It's only when I have all these lights and equipment on, you know what I mean? But hey, you know, that's fine. It's like just a bunch of people hanging out in a sauna while watching me tie a fly. Completely natural, normal fly tying interaction. That's how I view it. Like a bunch of dudes in a sauna tying fly. But at some point, delirium does set in. This is something I've learned while streaming. You do start losing your mind after a while. It's part of the natural balance, I guess, of streaming. Well, they're part of the budget. Mind you, there is, you know, unfortunately, limited budget, but yes. Yeah, I doubt the flies Orvis is getting. They're slamming White Claws while they're, and the boss is like, all right, you guys can go home early today. He's probably like yelling in some foreign dialect about their fingers will get chopped off if they don't tie another 10 deceivers. No, I'm sure it's not like that. I just always like, you know, hey. You know what I mean? We gotta poke fun at it, especially when they're selling the same fly for $2. Mind you, it probably fouls, doesn't swim the same, and not even tied with the same material. It's junk. But you can buy a Kinky Muddler for $2, by the way. I think it was Big Fly Co. or something it's called. I was looking at prices of Kinky Muddlers and what Rio charges. I was just looking to see what people are tying. And there are Kinky Muddlers for $2.50. Yo, Raphael, what's going on? How you doing? Dude. We've reached critical mass with the hole. I'm having to do maintenance here every 15 fly or more, you know. Super glue applications. Do you freshwater on the island with fly? Yeah, there's Carmen's River, there's Connecticut you can fish, but mostly it's lakes and ponds. We were fishing for largemouth and pickerel recently, but now it's saltwater. I pretty much never freshwater fish once striped bass show up, because I'm just a saltwater psycho. You know what I mean? By the way, it looks like we're going to have enough marabou, simply because I'm being certain to not put too much on here, because it will poke through the SF blend, and it drives me crazy. No gold. Okay. Oh, that sucks. Hopefully you find some next week. Why did your message get retracted? Did you mistype something? I don't think there would be any reason for some stream bot to take you out like that. It's alright, let the mistypes. I always forget you can like edit, you can like take your comment back on YouTube live stream or something. It's always interesting. Dude, I'm terrible. There's so many times I misspell stuff on my phone now. I don't know why, but you can tell because it's recommending the misspelled versions of words more than the regular ones. It's like, did you mean to spell this completely screwed up version of the word that you were originally trying to type? Must be getting old. I'm struggling. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with... I used to do a lot of freshwater fishing when I was younger. Had a canoe. We'd go out. We'd get lit. Fish for largemouth. Middle of the night, catch giant ones on regular rods and fly rods. But now that I'm older, I just can't lug a canoe around in a kayak. I used to do it alone. But my back is so shot now. So... even my kayak, it's kind of the reason I stopped kayak fishing. The kayak weighs 100 pounds, my Old Town Predator, with nothing on it. Just the name for my YouTube channel. Go look my fly. Okay. I'll take a look. Let's see. Oh, look, you're shooting... is this traditional bows, or are you shooting... very cool. What, you got a little nymph, it looks like? Some shorts? What I'm really curious is... let me turn this down, but... is that... compound? Okay. Well... you had me at the flies, but once you compound bow, I'm sorry. Whoa, or is that feather fletching after? Looks like possibly feather fletching. Now, if you're shooting with a compound, if you're using instinctive, you're taking me back. You're bringing me back. I tried shooting compounds. I couldn't get the hang of it. I just love the recurves instinctive archery. But I was making fun of my buddy with his compound bow. And he got super pissed off. It was so funny. Because it's kind of like a little... it's a joke. You know what I mean? Like, I can't shoot more than 30 yards, 20 yards. And he has training wheels. But he got, like, actually upset. It was hilarious. You talking shit about my compound bow. So I'm like, dude, chill the fuck out. I'm like, you're shooting like 50 yards, alright? I'm just poking fun at you because I can't shoot that far. Alright, hey, Thanks for stopping by, Charlie. Appreciate it. Let me know if you need a hand with that fly rod. All right, you got it though. Just keep working on your casting. You'll get it. It's all about loading the rod. So good luck. Speaking of loading the rod, I'm gonna go fishing later. But no, very cool. Very cool, Raphael. Lever action bows. I think I know what you're talking about, but I kind of don't. There's some, like, back in the day when compounds first came out and before there was all the fancy trigger releases and all that. I don't even remember. Is it a release? Is that the name of it? People were essentially shooting them instinctive with no sights as well. That's the way if I was going to shoot one, because that's how I shoot my recurve and stuff. And I really struggled with the sights on a compound because I just kind of look at the spot is how I like shooting bows. And using the sights, I really struggled. Keeping the balance and this and that and trying to worry about my draw, when it's a lot easier with a recurve. I just look at the spot and I just draw, and I need my back tension when it reaches the right spot and my fingers touch the corner of my lip. I hold for like a second. I don't even hold. It's just more like a breath, and then you release, you know? You're not trying to line up a sight and this and that. It was very... I just love the intuitiveness of like traditional archery. But it's all good. As long as you're bow hunting, I'm down. I'm down for bow hunting. There's a can where the limbs connect. I think I know what you're talking about it. Interesting. There's some pretty crazy bows out there that have multi-limbs and stuff like that. I start fishing at 4. Very cool. From Quebec. Very cool. We're glad to have you. And keep up the, keep posting flies and stuff, you know. To YouTube and all that. Maybe hunting, you know, all that stuff. Keep at it. I'm assuming you do mostly freshwater fishing. I'm assuming you also speak mostly French, right? Wanna shoot, I take is 35 meters. Yeah. And what's 35 meters? A meter is 3... Is it 3 foot for every meter? Is that correct, right? Or a little something around there? That's still about 90 feet. I really don't shoot more than 30, 40 feet a lot of times, but... Just purely because trying to focus on a spot from that far away is tough at times. And due to the poundage of the bow we're shooting. Because you got to realize with traditional archery, when we're hunting, we use very heavy arrows. You know what I mean? Like the broadheads can be generally anywhere from like at least 100 grain or whatever to like I was hunting with like almost 200 grain, 175. I believe that's the correct number that they use to determine the weight. I could be wrong. Or gram. Maybe it was gram, or was it grain? I forgot what they called it. I'm shooting heavy broadheads because I'm shooting heavy arrows because of the traditional bow. So the penetration is crazy. Like I'm talking about breaking through the ribs with ease, or shoulder blades, you know what I mean? You could shoot through a metal barrel with a 60-pound longbow and a metal broadhead, especially because they don't fold because they're fixed, you know. But we sacrifice a lot of range. I mean, there are people, Howard Hill, greatest bow hunter of all time, next to Fred Bear from Bear Archery. But Howard Hill, who was like almost like a stuntsman archer, but with a longbow. I mean, some of the animals he shot with that thing, we're talking about 60, 70 yards, 80 yards with a traditional bow. Oh yeah, and I'm 20, 30 yards is what I shoot, not feet, by the way. Why am I... 20 feet's not very far. Yardage, sorry. It's been a while since I've dipped my toes in the archery world because I'm so busy. But... was a lot of fun, but tough at the same time. I did get a couple deer, that was nice, but my refrigerator broke And I lost about 50 pounds of deer meat. So, or more. So that was the end of that. I kind of took all my inspiration of hunting out, losing all that deer meat. Alright. We're making good progress. We got some more marabou to do. It was not enough marabou, by the way. It kind of looked like it would have been, but that's right. We'll get some more out. So, we'll go ahead and slap some of this on. Keep chugging away with our flies. See, I'm trying to make sure I don't tie it too far forward. It's kind of important. Did I miss your... But the tips are regular recurve bow tips. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. There's some wild bows out there like that. Like hybrid bows. All right. We got enough for one more, and then what? Fuck, we still got another 9-ish, maybe 10. It never ends. If I had the right size hackle, I mean, you know what? To be honest with you, it probably takes the same amount of time to grab a single piece of hackle and polymer it, I guess, in the end, but. Fishing giant striped bass. Okay, very cool. Love to hear that. Alright, new spool. New spool of thread time. By the way, Danville mono. Regular mono thread. That and 2 10-denier flat wax nylon. Pretty much the only thread I use in general. Where the hell? Man, they really cut that close. There's like no way you can even get that out. There we go. Just pop it. Okay. Here, the woodpeckers outside. We have a adult pair of woodpeckers living in a tree behind the house. And the female sits in there, and the male goes and gets food and brings it back to her. They're like the woody woodpeckers, the big ones. Yeah, I'm streaming right now, Raphael, so... But maybe I'll take a look at some other time. But keep it up. I'm sure people will watch that stuff. But right now, we got Kinky Muddlers to tie. This is where having a bobbin threader really helps. Because mono thread does not like going through. It catches the inner ceramic transition. You gotta cut it straight, essentially. Oh, dude, I can already tell it's way too tight. Let's back that off about 5 clicks. That's way too light. Tighten it up. Alright. That's not enough, but we're using whatever we took off because we never waste anything, so we got to grab some more anyway. It was this one we grabbed. Try and keep it the same hackle. Believe it or not, olive is very much so like chartreuse, where you could get 5 different packs, sometimes even the same company, the packs, and the colors are slightly different at times in between the batches. That's something to consider. So I'm trying to use the same marabou, because believe it or not, they're like slightly different colors. One's darker, one's lighter, one is like the same color but not. Very good. Yeah, the shorts are, they really push the shorts, so if you go hard on the shorts, you'll probably get a ton of views. It's not necessarily the same as long form views, but I mean, that's a whole, we're not going to get into the world of YouTube, but they really love the short stuff, so keep posting your fishing stuff in shorts. Fully mill, yeah, or maybe it's international. Yeah, some of them are, I mean, it's really tough to dye certain stuff, but certain places have better dyeing procedures than others, which you find. Yeah, one of the first shorts I posted are just random 15-second long, got like 16,000 views. I was like, oh, okay, they really definitely promote shorts. The way the algorithm works, and I guess a lot of people just binge watch shorts on YouTube. I don't watch a lot of short form content on YouTube, me personally, but I never got TikTok or anything like that either. I usually watch long form stuff. So I'm not going to strip all this marabou off. I think it's easier just to strip it off as you work with it. I don't think that was necessarily that much more efficient, personally, so... Yeah, they love shorts. They really want you to make shorts too. They tell you, they're like, you should make more shorts. It does help. The mix, if you make a mix of long content and short content, it's nice. The short form will help get eyes on your channel. Because really, that's why you make videos, right? It's for people to watch them. It sucks if nobody ever watches them. Personal best striper? Probably around like 30, 35 pounds on a surf casting, like on plugs. Never weighed it, but, you know, when a fish is just a certain size and there's other guys around, they're like, that was a nice fish, you know? Because I always let them go. On the fly rod, we caught it on stream. It had to have been right under around 20 pounds. It was like 36 inches during the fall run under Montauk, and it was fat. It's the one that you see all the time where it says live fly tying. You see me holding a big fish. It was right around 20 something, like maybe 18 to 20 pounds on the fly, but that's over almost 30 years of fly fishing. It took me that long to get a fish over 15, you know, close to 20 pounds. I don't even know if we broke 20 pounds on the fly still, but I'm just saying we did just to give myself so I could sleep at night. So now we're shooting for 25, 30 pound on the fly. Because I'm going to be honest with you, if you go out with a spinning rod and a plug into the surf at night, fish eels, fish bucktails, fish plugs, you're going to catch 20, 30, 40, 50 pound fish. If you fish live bait, you're going to catch 50 pounders. But getting them on the fly, I'm just a fly addict, and it's the hardest way to do it. So it's really just, if you get a fish that size on the fly, I mean, it's, hopefully I don't have a heart attack when it happens, you know. Might die on stream. They find me with the GoPro running. Alright. Marabou. All this marabou. Yeah, I mean, that's why we fly fish. Like I said, you can catch more fish with a spinning rod. But at some point, you know, I mean, if that's all you want to do, there's nothing wrong with it. That's all people do. That's how they fish. But for me, it's like, I've done it so much when I was younger and stuff, and I was like, ooh, fly fishing, this is like, like way more rewarding when you get a fish, I feel like. And the fight's way better. And I was like, I want to get a big one on the fly. I can catch schoolies, but let me get a 50-pounder on the fly. And I've been trying for the past 20-something years, so. Hopefully it happens before they all freaking die. I shouldn't say that, but. This is something that we do need to talk about. It's something you should talk about. Is just overall, global fish stocks are on pretty much the decline. So, like, if you're going to be living for the next 30, 40 years, if not, then probably good. Fish while you can now. Because it may very well not be good in 50 years from now. Like, we'll have to see. Hopefully we do the right things. It's important. Conservation and all that, but there's also just factors that, I mean, you know, there's only so many ways you can try and affect these things. So we'll see what happens. Otherwise, it really is important to, you know, certain organizations, like I said, like Stripers Forever, American Saltwater Guide Association. You really got to fight through legislation, things like that, to try and preserve these fish. But a lot of the stuff, you know, out of our control. Global temperature, water temps, you know what I mean? Migration patterns, international fishing things and offshore or whatever, who knows, right? There's so many different state from state regulations handle it differently, and possible manipulation from large entities where big money's involved, right? Special interest. I'm not. I know a little bit of French. I don't know Esto or Itu. Eto. I don't know what that is. All many costs. Are you asking how much the flies cost? Is that what you're asking? Because generally, these sort of flies are like 10 or 12 bucks. At this size, it's like 10 bucks. That's what you're asking. Depends, though. We'll see. But it is very important to acknowledge these sort of things, right? I don't want to be all doom and gloom, but if you just ignore the situation that we're in at times, it's not going to benefit anybody, right? Like if you, I don't have kids, but if you want your kids to catch fish, or if you're a younger person, you got to do stuff early on. Otherwise, you know, who knows what it's going to be like. So, but you know, there were times in the 70s, there was a moratorium. A lot of people probably aren't even. Maybe they are old enough or they didn't know about it, but there was a time where they ceased all fishing for striped bass due to the fact that the populations were so bad. And they did it for, I forget when, late 70s or early 80s till like 85 or 86. And after that, man, the fishing was phenomenal. And then slowly over time, it just slowly went down and down and down and down. And then it went up. Then it went down, yeah. There are cycles, just like every sort of, anything with fishing. Fishing in general, clamming, it's all cyclical. Oh, the vise thing you put your hook in? You're asking how much this costs? I think the Regal Revolution at this, with this, the rotary head version, this is, I think, $389 or $400? $420 or something? I was looking recently. It's a really good price compared to other high-end vices from other companies. They really are offering vices at a very fair price. The medallion vice is almost cheaper. It is cheaper than the Ranzetti Saltwater Traveler. I was surprised. Regal actually has really, really good prices. I thought they would have maybe gone up, especially over the years and stuff, but surprised. I got this years ago. Got a couple new heads over time just because I'm opening and closing this 1,000 times a day. But yeah, this has been around for a very long time, this style. These Regal Vices. These have been around for a very long time. It's an old school brand. So there are Vices that are very old that have this almost exact, and there were copies of it, or there were, you know, that style from Regal with this head. Yeah. Great Vices. I know some people that use like old beat up ones, and they've been using them for so long now. Dude, it is absolutely turning into a sweatshop in here. It's so hot. Hot damn. Whew. It's crazy. It was really nice today too. It was like 68 degrees, so my room is cooking right now. It's probably in the mid 80s, I feel like. Camera's holding. It's getting a little hot, but ain't terrible. Hold the line. We're also out of music. We really went through all of that music. I mean, I skipped down, but are we actually? Wow. Let me go back. Go take it to the top. No, we're playing. Why don't we have music? Just kind of low, I guess. Why is it so low? My headphones? No? Mic check, mic check. No, these are fine. You turn it up. First Vice ever was a Dan Vice, which I don't know if they even make anymore. It was a plastic Vice that I bought in the 90s. Before that, it was a pair of Vice grips. Yeah, it was black plastic with a metal jaw with a C-clamp to put on a desk. I don't know if they make them anymore. I think it still is a brand, or still a thing. I think they're like 80, 90 bucks. You could probably just use that for the rest of your life. I think I gave it to one of my friends who was getting into fly fishing at the time. And then I got a Renzetti Saltwater Traveler when I was a kid. And then eventually I met the owner of this company, Regal, and he built this for me. And I've been using it ever since. So, dude, the super glue drying is... It's drying. It's getting to the point where I'm getting hungry now. We'll probably end up streaming again during the week before Friday. We'll see though. Maybe Wednesday night after the ostrich video comes out. I need to work on the ostrich video later, but... Tide Trader, long time. How's it going, Tide Trader? I'm gonna be honest, I don't even remember your name, bro. It's probably been a while, unless you changed it, but I hope you're doing well. Alright, Raphael. Enjoy. Thanks for tuning in. And how you doing, Tide Trader? You still trading tides or what? Yeah, we're actually gonna go down and fish the outgoing. And when I say we, I mean me, because it'll be nighttime. I'm not streaming it, but I'm gonna go fish here in a little bit. So we'll probably stream a little bit longer. Been going for 2.5 hours now. We'll finish up the Marabou, maybe Taiwan or something. And then I'm gonna eat some food and get ready. Not loading. Can't hear anything. Okay. I think that's on your end. That's a Twitch thing, because we got good bitrate. We're all good. Mic check. Could be a codec thing. I'm only on 720. Not even streaming on 1080 or nothing. Twitch is like, he's not naked sitting on a volleyball, so we'll take his bit rate away because somebody else is getting crazy gift subs right now. Meanwhile, YouTube, super crisp. You can't fault YouTube. YouTube's got beautiful live streaming quality. They do such a great job with it. I wish I could stream at a higher quality just because YouTube would actually allow it. Twitch is all like restrictive with their bitrate unless you're a partner. Unless you make them the big bucks. They're like, sorry, buddy. You're a bozo. YouTube's like, yeah, we own the world. We're Google. What do you want? You want it? You want your bitrate? Have it. We have unlimited bitrate. Amazon's over there, like, giving their... Or Twitch is over there giving their bitrate away. Like, it's like... we shall give the peasants 3,000. And the oligarchy shall get more. The middle class. Yeah, there's actually a point too, I think, where I think it's just for partner streamers that you automatically get it, but we were getting it on my channel. I think you should be able to go to 160p, 360, 480, all of that. If you don't stream a lot, I think you only get the one single bitrate option. So people that are don't have good enough internet connection can't actually even watch you. So I wonder if they're doing that. Do you guys have multiple options for my stream quality? You're like a one viewer Andy. They don't even give you the option sometimes. They're like, dude, you're getting like here's the minimum. Good luck with your Call of Duty Rebirth stream or whatever you're doing. Classic. I can't speak much better. I'm not what you would call a prime time. I don't get prime time numbers, but hey, we put in the hours. Okay. I wonder what's the total hours streamed since I've started streaming on Twitch. Probably been a long time. In fact, I'll check after this. Well, I could probably do it right now, eh? I wonder what my what's my overall watch time on stream over the years? 50,000 hours watched. Okay. Not that much. Get an average of 75 viewers to become a partner. Yeah, good luck. Good luck with that one, buddy. There we go. What's funny is I think I have just between 4 or 5 YouTube videos. I think I have more hours watched on those 4 or 5 YouTube videos than I do. Well, no. No. There's no way there are 10,000 hours watched on those. There's probably like 2,000 or 3,000. Everything's good. I'm glad you got it figured it out. I was going to say, I don't think it was on our end. It might be a Twitch thing, but I'm glad you figured it out. Everything's good. We're just working on some flies for an order. I'm going to go fishing a little later, so we're streaming for a little bit before I shut it off and get ready to eat some food and stuff, go fish at night. See if there's actually some striped bass around for once. What have you been up to, though? I hope everything's well. So, dude, I've been playing, even though I don't really have much time to game, I've been playing this free game. It's called Beyond All Reason. Essentially, it's like Total Annihilation, like its spiritual successor, their Commander game they had or something. But it's literally like an old school RTS, but it's like, it's modern. But it just has the feel of like the 90s RTS games almost. But it's so good. And it's free. It's open source. It's called Beyond All Reason. If you like Age of Empires or like old StarCraft or Warcraft 3 I really liked back in the day, this is different. But this is like, I guess I never really played the Total Annihilation games. Those are old PC games. They were some of the first RTS games. Because I used to play a lot of PC games back before like Xbox and all that. I had Sega Genesis, for instance. But we also had a computer and I'd play like Warcraft and all these things. StarCraft. Remember we got the original StarCraft. That game blew my mind. Even though it was like running on like a potato screen and computer and all that. It was so cool to play StarCraft back in, what was it, like 90... Was it 2000? I forget when we said it was, but it was like late 90s or early 2000. But this game is so good, dude. I love it. I'm not good enough. I don't have high enough APM or actions per minute, meaning I'm not moving across to different parts and micromanaging my units quick enough. I'm just playing against the bots. But, because I played Age of Empires 2 as well, which is another game like that. But I gotta say, it's a really good game. Check if you like those sort of games, check it out. It's free, and it's like a small community, but it's sick. It's gonna come to Steam at some point. I think it'll get popular when that does happen. But, I've been enjoying it. Even watching, I was watching, the only reason I found it is I found some random YouTuber who's a Twitch streamer as well that was doing commentary on like a tournament, and it looked so cool. I was like, this is almost like Warhammer, but it's like you're above the planet commanding everything on this large battlefield sort of thing, right? I was like, this is sick. So we'll see. Maybe one day I'll stream that, even though I pretty much don't stream games anymore, because obviously it's almost why you need like a second channel or something just for that. It's just cool. Probably never stream it. Just check it out if you play that sort of stuff. We tried fish in Sag Harbor Cove, mostly schoolies, but some 20-inch or so mixed in. Really? Well, there you go. That's better than me. I haven't caught a single thing yet. So I would have caught like 20 fish by now. I'm going out for the sunset on incoming, but there's just no fish in my area of the bay. I don't know what's going on. But I'm glad you're getting them over there. That's good. Gives me more hope. Why they aren't in my area, I don't know. Hopefully they'll be down there tonight. That's the goal. That's what I tell myself. You gotta. Makes the walk down there that much more enjoyable. At least there's a ton of wildlife. There's ducks, birds, geese, raccoons, osprey, eagles. Tons of stuff for me to look at. Bunker, spearing. Ton of mussel seed on the beach the other day. It's just full of brand new mussel seed, which is baby mussels that are the size of like Tic Tacs, essentially. Maybe a little smaller. All right. How are we looking? Looking pretty good. I think here's the goal. Here's the plan. We did a good amount. I have a lot more to do. It's so damn hot. We've almost been streaming for 2.5 hours. So, like I said, I'm trying to stream more often. That's what generally 2.5, 3 hours is like good enough for me. I ain't a full-time streamer Andy anymore. But we'll probably maybe Wednesday or something. We'll go live. We'll see. But we'll probably end up doing more of this. Maybe tying something else. But I have a lot more of these to tie. Kinky Muddlers. So let's finish up the last of these. There's 4 more marabou we're putting on. And then we'll wrap it up. And I'm going to go eat something. I'm going to cool off down at the water for a little bit. It's almost 6 o'clock. Sunset's around 7:30. So I'll probably have about 30 minutes to eat, get ready, walk down, fish for about 2.5 hours, maybe 2 hours into the dark, maybe till 9. And then I'll come back to work, essentially, over here. But, yeah, not too bad. Not too shabby. Didn't get as much done as I wanted to, but I didn't expect to get 24 of these done. So, we did pretty good, though. I'll try and finish these tonight, essentially. I'll probably get done with them in the morning tomorrow. Realistically. Because I also, tomorrow, need to edit the ostrich video. Maybe I'll do that tonight. We'll see. I'm probably going to play some Beyond All Reason tonight as well. That game's pretty addictive, dude. I'm telling you. Check it out. Beyond All Reason. Not on Steam, though. You're going to have to actually go to a website and download it. I know, it's kind of scary, but that's how we used to actually have to do things back in the day. Does anyone remember Neopets? If you're my age, I remember being a kid going to the library on the computer and playing this game called Neopets. And they had these like animals that you could like, I don't even think you could battle, but they could like evolve. It was like a Pokemon type thing almost. But they had so many games and like mini games and so much depth to that website, I remember. But I remember being a kid, me and my buddy PJ and his mom would go to drop us off at the library to go run errands, and we'd be playing Neopets. Curious if anyone remembers that. It's a throwback to the early 2000s. I remember loving that game, dude. It was a lot of fun PC. I would say probably the game I had the most fun with playing on the computer back in the day. StarCraft was great, but I was a little young. I was like, you know, still a little young. Warcraft 3 and the online Warcraft 3. Not only just playing the regular game modes, I remember, was a lot of fun. Because I could understand the game pretty good at that point. I was pretty good. I was old enough to have, like, good enough hand and eye coordination. Not like kids nowadays. Kids nowadays are like pro gamers at 10, but what do you call it? I remember the custom game modes. There was a Lord of the Rings Helm's Deep game mode in Warcraft 3. That was the coolest thing ever. There was also tower defense. I remember the tower defense was awesome. But they had scenarios where it was like Lord of the Rings, and you could either be the good guys like the elves and the humans on the wall, or you could be the orcs, the Urukai as well. That was so much fun. That was some of like the most fun online gaming, like PC gaming I think I ever did, was the like custom Warcraft 3 lobbies. There were just so many awesome like custom game modes that people made back then. It was so good. Trying to think. There were a couple other ones. There were like math games that I used to play as a kid that my parents got me that were actually a lot of fun. There was one that used to have to go. This is way back, like in the 90s. Probably like the mid to late 90s. There was one where you were this like little mountaineer climber, and you'd have to make your way up the mountain doing like math puzzles and like geography things, and it would ask you questions, but they were like games, like mini games. It was probably one of the best quote unquote like learning games, you know, because that was really big in the 90s. But it was actually like a really good game. And I would actually just play the crap out just to try and get to a point to get like a treasure chest or something. Because you're like climbing up the mountain. You need to get a rope to get here. And then you got to get the ladder. It was such an in-depth game for like a children's learning game. It was so good. I totally forget the name of it. But if I ever saw like video footage of that game, it would probably hit so hard with the nostalgia. Just thinking about it. I remember playing it so much. There were a couple other games too where it was like very like puzzle orientated too, but it was also like made to like encourage kids to like learn things that were just really cool. I'm sure I'll never remember any of them, but and then at some point we got Xboxes, and I went that, but it's the evolution of gaming. I still love I'll be like 80 years old and I'll be playing online video games probably one day. Yeah, get wrecked, bozo. Yelling at some kid. Hooked up into like a Matrix VR system into my spine or something. Not playing Tarkov though, I'll tell you that much. Hopefully not. Tarkov's around in 60 or, oh god, 50 years. If I'm 80. Oof. If that's still around, then we got issues. No lice, probably leftovers. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, we need some fresh fish. Need some fresh fish. Dude, I better catch something. I'm starting to like go stir crazy. I shouldn't have to drive 30 minutes to catch fish. They should be here. The madness. Been pretty lucky all my life considering we don't really need to go far to fish. We're pretty much surrounded by salt water. And in the area I live, it's pretty darn good. So it's like people come here sort of deal, you know what I mean? We'll see. You know, it's a slow start to the season. This is the problem when you fish, though, right? And you don't catch anything. You just sit there for 4 hours thinking while you're swinging flies and casting. So it's very easy to get philosophical and turn into the Socrates of fly fishing. Start wondering what the hell's going on, you know? When I was 12, Pawn came out. Oh, hell yeah. I don't think I ever had an Atari. I'm trying to think. Did I ever have an Atari? Maybe? I remember playing Pawn. I might have very well had one. Might have been literally the first sort of gaming thing I had, which was like a hand-me-down sort of Pawn Atari, or I don't even know if it was, maybe it was like afterwards they just made like a Pawn. I don't remember. But my first ever console brand new I got, because I had a Nintendo, like the original Nintendo I got as a hand-me-down, with the duck shooting game and Mario. That was all I had. And the one cartridge. I still wish I had that. I think I sold it at a yard sale, man. Like a freaking idiot. Was a Sega Genesis. I got brand new. Like, that was sick. Sonic, Golden Axe. All the good stuff. Then Nintendo 64. Then an Xbox. Those are the consoles I had. Of course, a Game Boy, too. Game Boy Color. When Pokemon came out, dude. Went to Toys R Us. Got a Game Boy Color. Oof. Have that tiny little hint of color on the screen. Okay, gotcha. Autocorrect messing with your typing there. Raphael. All right. We got the last one here. Let's marabou it up, and then I'm going to eat something, and I'm going fishing. We got to think good vibes, good energy. I'm going to catch a fish. Just got to keep telling yourself that. Eventually, something might happen. Damn, I'm like just a little shy. Almost, maybe I can find a little bit in my wastebasket, like the tip that I broke off that still has some marabou. We're a little short here. We'll just grab a new one. I'm just being lazy. I just don't want to make a mess, because every time you pull it out, a bunch of feathers go all over the place. Gonna have to vacuum. By the way, this is for anyone wondering, this is kind of what the fly looks like when it's done. This is a slimmer taper than usual, but Kinky Muddler. This one's tied for tuna specifically, but that is a good vibe. It was surreal to be able to control anything on the TV screen. Yeah. Dude, I mean, hey kids, go out and play. You're gonna rot your brain. Yeah, of course. But, dude, Pokemon blew my mind when I was a kid. The first Pokemon, the blue version is what I had. Like that open world, moving around, and all that on that Game Boy cartridge. Unbelievable. Still, that was like one of the greatest games of all time, I think, is Pokemon Blue or Red on that Game Boy cartridge. Being a kid and playing that, it was so good. And I'm not a fan of, like, you know, Game Boys are cool and all, but of course you'd rather play on a TV. But, man, that game truly, I mean, it didn't help that Pokemon, like, took over the world, took over every single kid's mind at the time, but, yeah. That blew my mind. And, of course, like Sonic and all that, dude, when you were a kid and is, you know, what is it, 96, 97 or something, you get a brand new Sega Genesis and you pop in Sonic and you've never even played this game. You've only read a magazine where you've seen photos of it. I mean, it was very easy back then for you to get your mind blown. I remember reading all of the articles about Halo before Halo came out and then trying it. And I was like, this is the greatest game that I'm ever going to play. And I bought an Xbox because of it. I was like using PlayStation 1 at the time. I was a PlayStation dude. But I was reading the Xbox articles about Halo. Or I think I had an Xbox, but I never played Halo. Because it was like, my mom was like, oh, it's a shooting and stuff, you know. So I was playing like SSX Tricky or something. Whatever came with it. You know, those sort of games. Project Gotham Racing was another one. But dude, I remember reading about Halo Combat Evolved in the magazine. I was like, I got to try it. And I went to a friend's house. And we were doing Warthog Wars where you just smash the Warthogs into each other and they go flying out of the map because they don't explode. And I was like, dude, this game is nuts. And I remember for Halo 2, I don't remember if I didn't go to school. I feel like there's no way I went to school for Halo 2 launch. Maybe I did. Halo 3, I lied to my parents, said I was sick, and stayed home. And played Halo 3 and got lit. This is in high school. And was just gaming the whole day. Like, and when they'd come up, I'd be like, oh, I'm not feeling good, but this new game's great. Thanks. You play Hunter Call of the Wild? Yeah. When they started putting the games in the bars, it was only beat out the ladies by night. You play till 4 a.m. Your sons played Halo? Yeah, Halo was... That was peak online video game performance. Halo 2, online, multiplayer, ranked 4v4. That was the greatest gaming experience I've ever had. Will ever had in terms of competitive multiplayer. So, shout out to Shook1, who we raid sometimes on Twitch. He was a professional Halo player. That's where his name came from and all that. I was a Halo 2 guy, though. Halo 1's great. But they didn't have online back then. You had to do LAN. Halo 2 was the first one with an online, game. So it was like, imagine playing video games as a kid and being like, wow, this is crazy. Look at the graphics in this game. You know, and it's like the original Halo or whatever. Or whatever it may be. Donkey Kong Country. Or, the Donkey Kong 64 game. Sick game as well. But then... you could play again with your friends online or against random people from around the world. When I first got an Xbox Live account, and it came with a headset, I remember. I forget how much it was. It was even $50 a month back then. Something ridiculous, whatever it was back then. And first time ever on Xbox Live playing Halo 2 against other people. It was the first ever online gaming experience other than on the computer with Warcraft and that sort of stuff. But my God, that was something else, because that was before the big Call of Duties came out. That was back in Call of Duty 1 and 2 or whatever, or maybe I forgot. There was one of them that had online. It was a World War II version, very rudimentary compared to what it is nowadays. But yeah, Halo 2 was, man, I could still picture maps perfectly in my head and stuff. Still, I can think about everything. I could think the lines of where you can jump and crouch at the same time with a shotgun thing you would do and all that on Zanzibar. Oh, man. Yeah, it's so good. All right, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Pretty simple, just tying a bunch of tails in marabou today, but it's almost 3 hours or 2 hours and 45 minutes. We're going to call it here. We'll probably stream on Wednesday. If not, 100% Friday. We have the ostrich bucktail video, which is coming out on Wednesday. Then topwater video on Friday. Various topwater flies for striped bass. And really what I'm doing is right now is just trying to get as many of these done. So that's what I'm doing. But keep your chin up when they show up. They will be thick, I believe. Happy hunting. That's the hope. Keep your chin up is right. And that's for everybody out there if you're fishing, all right? Keep the faith. That's all we can do, so. Read the chat about news. What? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Read the chat about news. What chat? I'm confused. Anyways. You can always let me know. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out. You guys have an awesome night, and we'll see you, all right? Take it easy, chat. I'll see you guys either Wednesday or Friday. So, you can always let me know, chat. About half ago, you missed my news in the chat. Sorry, let me take a look. It would just be so much easier if you reposted it. My wife loves to fly fish. She usually out fly fishes me. Mostly trout. We booked a fly fishing trip in September to celebrate your 40th anniversary. Very cool. Is that what you were talking about? You're taking your wife fly fishing? Is she actually happy about it? Hope that's good. Kuluk Lodge and Katmai National Forest. Very cool. This isn't one of those situations where she's like, sure, I'll go, whatever you want. Okay, good. Because that's dangerous territory, taking the wife fly fishing. But if she's down, then you got an awesome trip planned, so I'm glad to hear it. Yo, Barfy, what's going on, man? All right, chat. I'm going to head out, though, all right? We're going fishing. Sorry to miss you right away, Barfy, but hope you're doing good. Double the flies tied or bought. She's down big time? Very cool. Yeah, I know. Sorry, Barb. We might be back Wednesday with some streaming. If not, new video on Wednesday. Oh, by the way, Wolf, you got flies in the mail, too. I put all that stuff out for anybody that had to give away stuff. So I'll see you guys, though, all right? Speaking of which, on Friday, we're drawing the winner from the YouTube video, so be there. But I'll see you guys. You have a nice night, and I'm going to go do some fishing. So, all right, chat.